So who here is wanting to raise reading scores in their school or district? Hopefully nobody, right? Okay. So as you may know, nearly 2/3 of all students in the U.S. fourth grade struggle or are only struggle with reading. So just 35% are proficient or above. This is a problem that even in the best performing states is still quite large. This is an eye chart, I know, but what it shows you is that even in Maryland and Massachusetts, over 50% of their students still struggle with reading, are not proficient. What it boils down to is that the root cause of the problem is a lack of vocabulary. So a linguistically rich first grader knows 20,000 words. A linguistically poor first grader knows just 5,000 words. That's the word gap, 4x. The solution is that kids have to be good listeners in order to become good readers. Now, why is that true? This is really important, this chart here. Decoding skills, the ability to sound out letters, times word knowledge equals proficient reading. Word knowledge is vocabulary and fluency. Have you heard a word? Do you know it? Do you have context for it? And do you know the way it's supposed to sound? Those two things together are listening comprehension. That's why kids have to be good listeners before they can be good readers. There's a lot of research on this subject. Tons and tons. It's really convincing. I'll just point out the first one, which is the famous word gap study itself by Hart and Risley. I won't go into it. I'm happy to talk to anybody about it. The other thing is a little thing called the Common Core. Here in California, I'm allowed to say that. Depends where you go by state, but even take Florida, the standards are the same. Listening is elevated to a skill equivalent to reading, writing, and speaking because the way to build vocabulary is through listening. Put standards aside. When you add a listening component to reading instruction, scores go up. We just make it easier to do that. That could be broken down into a whole group lesson and then stations of small guided reading, listening to fluent reading, in this case on Tales2Go, as well as phonics work. So we are a Netflix for kids audiobooks. We work on any device, and we make it easier to add a listening component to reading instruction both in the school and at home. We have thousands of titles, all from leading publishers. We span pre-K through 8th grade. We're used by many high schools. We've got Spanish. We've got music. There's lots and lots. The product is very simple. It's got a really easy interface, very powerful tools like student bookmarks, which allow students to access, set or retrieve bookmarks on a school-owned device at school and then pick back up seamlessly on a personal device at home. And really what we've done is we've broken new ground here. We're a streaming service, so that gives you instant on-demand access. We give you unlimited access to our complete catalog, today over 4,400 titles. And unique to us is simultaneous access. So for the first time ever, an educator can assign an audiobook. Let's say you've got a teacher doing a unit on Lewis and Clark. She wants the kids to read something, write something, draw something, listen to something. Every student can access the book at the same time. That's Tales2Go. Would love to talk to anyone at our booth up in the Queens room, I think it's called. Thank you very much.